everybody. This is Keisha with Seven Greens Homestead. I wanted to go through and just give you an idea of what I got planted here and what I'm doing. So first I'm going to start off with this beautiful wall of hollyhocks. If you guys caught my Foodie Friday, you saw that I made some smoked salmon salad and I stuffed that into one of these beautiful flowers and ate it because these are edible. And you guys, these were volunteers. I didn't plant these here. These are volunteers. I was supposed to take them out and put them in the front yard, but it didn't happen. So in this first container here, I have some melons growing, and I don't remember. Oh, they're the canary yellow melons. Those are my favorite melons. Those are the ones that when I did my video, my taste test video on that was the best. I love them. And then if you notice down in here, that's some Malabar spinach that I am trying to grow up on this arch trellis. So, and then inside this little tomato cage here, that is an eggplant. I believe that one is Turkish orange. And, oh, I stepped on a cat. I don't know why. Every time I pick up the camera and I'm out here, they just want to be right up under my feet. That one was Max. And they don't like to move out the way. And I can't be looking in the camera and looking and watching them too. But anyways, that's in the first container. Look who came. Okay, so that's in the first container, and now the second container has, these are, the corn is an ornamental corn. It's a glass gem corn that a friend from one of my local gardening groups had sent me. Shout out to Cody Biggs. Thank you very much. This corn is lovely. It's growing just fine along with this tomato. Now the tomato inside of here is the Thorburns terracotta. And this is going to be my first time trying this tomato. But you guys, I got to show you how good this tomato is doing. First of all, it has all these flowers. Tons and tons of flowers. But then you go down here and you see these big ones here. I'm trying to fight the corn right now. Fight the jungle. These are a good size tomato. And then as I pan up, you see there's more tomatoes there and more tomatoes there. And then when I go around, you'll see there's more tomatoes. And this one is pretty big too. Look at that. More tomatoes. And then look, down there, more tomatoes. So this plant isn't lacking for anything. Even though it's in this container with 4 corn, it's not lacking for anything. A lot of people were saying, well, corn, you know, it needs more water than tomato, but the corn is doing good. You guys, this experiment so far is turning out pretty good. The only problem or issue that I see going forward is this wind, because the wind keeps blowing the corn out of place. So anyways, let me go. Oh, look who's back. He didn't learn. Okay, so moving on to this next container, there are melons, cantaloupe. This one has cantaloupe planted in it, and you can see they have little flowers on them already. I don't see any fruit yet. And then it's in the container with this apple tree. This is my Honeycrisp apple, and there's apples on here. So Yeah. This Honeycrisp is doing good. This is the most that it's leafed out ever since I bought it 3 years ago. So I'm excited for this and the fruit that it produced. And then next to it, I hadn't really done much with this flat container here. It has some green chard in it, and it has some strawberries. The strawberries I'm going to transplant into the front yard planter under my tree. And so I'm just buying my time and waiting for that opportunity for me to finally get that tree in the ground so I can get the strawberries in place. And then through all this jungle right here, there's this Arkansas black apple tree that I bought a little over a couple of months ago from a local nursery. And in it I believe these are Kajari melons, sharing the space in here with it. And these Kajari melons are doing great. And I'm looking to see if there's fruit yet. There's tons of flowers and it's vining out, but I don't know about fruit yet. So that's in that container. And then this fig, jungle fig, is huge. If you guys want to go back and look at some of my old videos, I posted a video on propagating fig cuttings, and this was the fig cutting that I propagated, and it's just huge. Now, I'm looking on here. I got this fig cutting from my mother-in-law, or mother-in-law as I like to call her, and it didn't produce any fruit for the last couple of years. I have not seen any fruit at all. And I was looking on here and I saw, let me see if I can find one. I saw these little stubs on here that I was like, oh, I might actually get some fruit. But I don't know. I gotta go on the other side. So you tell me, what do you think? You think that this little thing right here is the start of a fruit? I think it is. Look at that. I think so. I think that's the start of a fruit. And if I get just one fruit on this whole plant, I guess it'll be worth it, because I was already contemplating tearing this out, because I was like, well, if it's not going to fruit, what's the point of having a tree that's not producing, you know? So, yeah. But, I mean, all in all, it's doing good. It's thriving. And then this container has, I think these are more cantaloupe. The tag would be facing the other way. Yes, these are more cantaloupe in here, and they're taking off and doing well. And sharing the space with it is my apple tree. But this apple tree has like 4 different grafts of different apples on here. And so this one is the Golden Dorset. I believe that's what it's called. Let me see. Oh, I'm wrong. Let me look. See, that's why I left all these little tags on here, so I could always go back and look. This is the, yeah, Golden Dorset. I was right. Now remember, it had all these other apples on here. I'm going to have to cut this off because this branch did not survive. We had some real strong winds come through, and it just snapped this branch, and all the fruit that's on it, everything is gone, is lost. So all I have are these few apples here, and then that one down there of this particular type. And then I have one apple, one on this one, which is a Fuji, I believe. Let me look. Let me look and make sure. Yes, that one's a Fuji apple. I don't know if you guys see that there. And that's the first time that one has leafed out, bloomed, and produced the fruit. So I'm excited for that. This one, little skinny one right here. This one, this is the first time. This is a Gordon. This is the first time that this one has leafed out at all. So it doesn't have any fruit on it. And then these are all Anna apples. And there's some big ones, like in here. There's this one. Let's see if I can get you around so you can see. He's big. In my hand here. He's pretty big. And there's a lot of them that are big. There's some down in there. There's a lot of them on the other side. There's a lot of apples on this one. So I'm excited about that. And then in this container, more glass gem corn. And I planted more melons in here. Let me see what this one is. Oh, this one is a Amarillo Oro melon. So, and then look at this tomato, you guys. The tomato, this is Ananas Noir, which I'm excited to try. It's also known as the black pineapple. I guess the translation for it is black pineapple. But look how big this tomato is. It's huge, and it's two of them. It's two of them in there, right there. Look at that. And then another one, little one is starting. There's some other small ones on here, but this tomato plant is not suffering for being in the container with the corn. And the corn doesn't seem to be doing bad either. The corn, the tallest one, is coming out on this side right here, because that's the way the wind is forcing it. But it's taller than me, so the corn isn't doing bad. And then next we have my orange tree. This one is a, I think it's a semi-dwarf navel orange. And it has all these new leaves on it, which is nice because it was bare for a long time. We had that cold snap come through, and it was just the last straw for it. It was like, okay, I give up. I can't do this. It just dropped all its leaves. But also I planted more melons in with this one. These are called Sierra Gold melons, and they're doing really well. And I guess one of the bigger reasons, oh look, and I'm scaring myself. I thought I stepped on the cat again. One of the main reasons for planting the melons inside these containers is because I wanted to use these trees and things to shade the melons, because we have a really harsh summer, and I wanted the melons to have some shade. So next, and it's kind of all a blur all together here. You see the flowers. Those are potato flowers because I have purple potatoes, and you can kind of see the purpley color on the leaves and in the stems. But I have purple potatoes that volunteered, that I guess I didn't get them all out of this container last season, and so now they're growing. And I also planted cantaloupe in with this one. It's just the potatoes and the cantaloupe. It's hard to see because everybody is all blended in together right here. This fig, which is in the next container, is in this container, is a Chicago hardy fig. And you guys, I'm really excited about this one because look Look at all of these fruits. And it's fruits everywhere on this. Last year, I only got a few fruits. And when I tried the first one that I tried was so delicious. They're red on the inside. And it tastes like a berry. It was so delicious. But inside this one, there's also melons that I planted, cantaloupes that I planted in there. And then moving on to this container. This one has my Meyer lemon. And as you can see, it has a lot of leaves. It recovered from when it dropped its leaves. And it's putting on new blooms. So I still have chances to get, there's one there. I still have chances to get fruit on here. So I'm excited about that too. And this container is sharing, or this lemon is sharing space with some volunteer red chard that started coming up. I don't know how it got in there, but it grew. So I just left it. We'll see what happens. This next one, I haven't done anything with this either. I was supposed to put out some tulip bulbs or something in these, but I never got around to doing it. And this green chard volunteered in here, and I have something else popping up right over here. I don't know quite what it is yet, so I'm excited to see what that develops into. I'm sad because in this weed filled container, it used to be a boysenberry that a friend of mine from church gave me, but it didn't survive, and I don't know why. And she also gave me a marionberry, which is in this container, and that one is doing well. It's grown a lot. But also oh, wait a minute. I was going to say my moringa, the real tall one that I had that I stuck in the front yard, this is what's left of it. And I was about to say I think I killed it, but I didn't. Because look, out from the bottom here, you see that? That is the moringa growing back. That's gonna stem out and grow tall. So I guess I'm gonna clear out those weeds. And then in this one, it used to be all kinds of flowers, and then a mint got in there some kind of way and volunteered, and now it's just mint because nothing else is able to really grow in here. And then here we have this tomato. It's called Lucid Gem, and look at it, has some flowers. I don't think it has any fruit on it yet. No fruit yet. But the wind, it just beats up on this poor plant, and yet the plant still remains. So this isn't my first time growing Lucid Gem. I love this tomato, so I think I'm gonna always grow this one. But I have it in there with some corn as well, the glass gem corn, and I planted some melons in this one as well. Let's see, I can go on this side now. Honeymoon, golden honeymoon melons is in this one. So the corn in this one I started late. That's why it's smaller than all the others. I put this container together way later than the others. And then in this pot, I planted some eggplant and some kiwano jelly melons. And my hope is that the melons are going to climb up this trellis here and cover some of this arch here. So we'll see. There's some spiky looking fruits. And they're supposed to turn yellow, like a bright yellow color. So I thought that would be cute, and noticeable. So yeah. And then over here, this is part of that strawberry tower that I had built that I'm moving. I'm moving this to the other bed over there. But in the meantime, I don't have anything growing in this one. And this, in the center here, that is eggplant. And I believe that one is Turkish orange. And then this is an eggplant here too. This one is a Casper eggplant. And what happened with this one was, it was an accident. I put that eggplant in this container with hopes that, I could grow other little, like more melons or something out of here. And didn't realize that this container already held tubers from a lily plant that I had in here last year. I thought it died, but I guess it survived because I didn't do anything special to it to save it or preserve it. And now that I'm looking at it, you guys, for the first time, I'm seeing I'm actually getting blooms. Isn't that pretty? I didn't notice these earlier. Look at, and there's one on this side. Let's see, there it is. Ooh, I'm excited about that. I can't wait for that to finish developing. And in this container, I have blackberry plus watermelon. These are Desert King watermelon in here. And everybody's doing good. This stick back here in the back, that is hydrangea. I had a couple of bare root hydrangeas that I wanted to put around my berries. And that was before I realized that raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, all of them are invasive. And so I was going to put the hydrangeas around them so that I can make sure use the hydrangeas as an indicator of the acidity of the soil. I don't know if it's the same with all types of hydrangea, but the hydrangea that I got, if you have the hydrangea in acidic soil, then the flowers will be blue. And if it's less acidic, then the flowers tend to be more pinkish. And so I was trying to use it as a color indicator so I'd know that the soil was always good or right for my berries. But that didn't quite turn out that way. So anyways, this container right here is a dwarf parfait tomato plant. And he's struggled. He has struggled ever since I started him. He's struggled. So I'm hoping that he's going to start gaining some ground. As you see up here, there's new growth and there's flowers coming out. So hopefully I'll get some fruit on him. And then this is my blueberry that I had bought as a bare root. And it's doing good. I didn't put any, what's around this one is weeds. I didn't put any melons or anything like that in here. I did put the hydrangea, which is this stick right here that you see. But it hasn't started growing yet. Same thing with this one. That's a hydrangea and raspberry that's doing really good. I got this raspberry plant from a friend of mine from a local gardening group that I'm in. Thank you, Lori, for it. It's doing beautifully. And then there's weeds. I got to get these weeds out of here. And now this tomato plant is just being destroyed and pounded by this wind. It hasn't put on any flowers yet either. I don't know what to expect. This one is orange peach. I've never tried this variety. This is my first time growing it. So I don't know what to expect, but right now it's just being pounded by this wind. So hopefully it'll put on some flowers and put on some fruit for me so I can try it. And then I like this bamboo. Once again, my friend Lori gave that to me. Bamboo sticks. And then I put some marigolds around this tomato. This one is the Korean long. And it's a wispy, very wispy looking plant. I have this dahlia. And then next to it I have this prairie fire is what it's called. It's something, it was a new plant for Baker Creek that they offered this year. And it has so many flowers on it right now. It's loaded with flowers and loaded with tomatoes. There has to be like between 30 and 50 tomatoes on this one plant right now. There's just tons of them. I can't wait to try this tomato because it's supposed to be really sweet and delicious. And if you notice in the back here, inside the container there, I have watermelons. Let me go around this side so you can see better. I have watermelons planted in there. These are black diamond watermelons. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then stevia came back. It reseeded itself, came back, and it's a lot. So I'm happy. I'm gonna start harvesting the leaves off of the stevia plant so that I can freeze them and dehydrate some to be able to sweeten things like my coffee, my husband's coffee, things like that. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I planted corn seed and I planted a tomato seed at the same time just to see how well everything would grow. And they did fine. The corn obviously has a head start on the tomato, even though they started growing at the same, even though I planted the seeds at the same time. And that one is a Purple Prince tomato that my friend Jennifer gave me. And so I'm excited to see how well this works out, growing both from seed at the same time. Now this one, I started the corn seed first and then I added the tomato in the middle. And well, the tomato isn't doing so good. I think that one is diseased. So I'm gonna have to dig that one out, and I have a backup one of the same type that I'm gonna put in there and replace it. Look, I almost stepped on a kitty. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you are watching my videos all the way through to the end, I really appreciate you, because all of that counts towards watch time for me, and I need watch time right now. So thank you so much for doing that. And you guys, next time I do a tour, it'll be another section of my garden, and I'll go through all the varieties and show you everything in detail, what I'm growing. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, and until next time, God bless.